Can we talk about Jason Isbell for a second?
Always, yeah.
So how did that come about that you started playing bass with him?
It was very random. They needed a sub super last minute. This was in 2020, I think summer 2023. So they kind of, I don't even know how they got my number. No, that's not true. I do know how they got my number. They got it through my friend Phil Cronengold.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out.
Shout out.
But I think they called through a few people on the list is the impression I'd got, because I didn't know anyone. Like I didn't know anyone in the crew, the band. Yeah. I don't really play that type of music.
Yeah.
But they called and it was like a week's notice. You know, it was like play 5 shows, learn these 35 songs. Do you want to do it? And I kind of had I had a break between tours and I was like, yeah, sounds fun. Why not? Like, let's do it. I didn't think too much of it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And we played 5 shows and it was great and the vibe was awesome and it was a really good fit. And we I don't know, it felt special. It felt like we all connected, band, crew. Jason's great. They were taking really good care of me. They were very welcoming. And then we played these 5 shows. They threw me a little going away party, which was cute. They had a card, they got a cake. I know, it was really sweet.
That's so nice.
I know. I was like, what is this? And I was kind of sad to leave. And then I got a friendship tattoo with the tour manager. And then I came back home.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, right. I came back home and then the next day the manager called me at 9 a.m. and was like, can you actually fly back tomorrow? Like, we need you. Can you come back tomorrow? So I flew back to Nashville or wherever the next day, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So getting ready for that gig, were you listening to live recordings as well as the albums to learn the songs? Yeah,
they sent me, it was mostly live. They sent me just the board mixes from like the 2 most recent shows that they'd done. And they sounded, the other thing about it was like, that band is tight. They sounded so good. Just I was like, oh, this is incredible. Yeah, so I mostly just learning them off that and then like going into some like old YouTube videos, which is always kind of like a fun thing to do. But
yeah.
Do they give you like any instruction other than here's the shows? Like, here's what's been played before? No, it's just like, here's what's been played and you figure it out and come in and do your thing.
Well, I mean, all those conversations I had were with Jason's manager and then like the bass tech and like the production manager and stuff. I didn't meet Jason until the day of rehearsal. We didn't communicate with him until then. And also the other thing is like the first show I played with them was their record release for their new album. So like it was also learning a bunch of songs that had never been played live before.
That's easier.
Yeah, right. So it was kind of half and half. No, he never told me the way that I like to approach things like that is just to kind of, and we had a conversation about this, Jason and I, but I was kind of like, I'm going to do what I think is right musically and also just in the world in general. And you tell me if you want me to do something different.
How do you balance sort of your voice and style as a bass player with entering a band that maybe has a particular voice and style that they want? What is that process of like adapting like?
I mean, honestly, I would say it's mostly about, for me, it's about following my instincts. Like when they first called me, they were looking for a bass player. I don't know if they were really familiar with like my style and voice. They needed someone pretty quick, right? But when they called me back, I was like kind of then operating under the assumption that they wanted me specifically and they wanted my voice. So it was a little less trying to like sound like the bass player they'd had before. It was more just like, okay, I can trust myself to make my own decisions. And like I said, if he doesn't like something, I'll trust that he will tell me to do something differently and that I will not be offended by that because that's how it works.